Part 3 of Danielle. He began to walk towards the door. That was when the humming started again. The creature moved. He heard it scuttle on its awkwardly jointed legs. Walter ducked behind the counter and took shallow breaths. The creature moved. The humming whistle it emitted had a bit of grinding in it. When the beast took little steps, he scooted along the floor like a worm, sliding around the counter. But the more he moved, the faster it moved. After 2 revolutions of the counter, the beast was nearly running, and he had no choice but to outpace it. Stealth be damned. He made a desperate dash to the door, hoping with all his heart it wasn't locked. He proved to be faster than the creature. Its awkwardly bent legs didn't seem suited for running. He pulled the door and it flew open. It was a minor victory, seeing he wasn't out of danger. The staircase was winding with an open terrace that one could look down to the bottom floor. Walter didn't bother with the stairs at all. He jumped over the banister and skillfully grabbed the landing 1 floor down. In fractions of seconds, he twisted his way, spinning to catch the next lower ledge. It was 3 stories, and it was his hope that his parkour would give him the vital speed boost he'd need to outdistance the thing. But he didn't have such luck. The creature dove right off the banister with 2 or 3 steps behind him. The creature didn't attempt to grab a ledge. It opened its triple-jointed arms, and the purpose of the multicolored sagging flesh became evident. The thing took to the air like a fleshy kite and slowed its fall. It tried to take a swipe at Walter, who never stopped making his way down to the lower level. It missed, and the missed swing was the only reason Walter wasn't impaled by that bone spike for a hand. The beast crashed hard onto another floor, tumbling end over a railing. When it moved the position of its gangly arms, it disrupted the control of its wings. Walter didn't stop to see what happened. He finished his routine, touched ground, and didn't spare a moment in fleeing through the door. Walter was out of breath when he got to his safe house. He didn't realize he was even tired until he stopped for a moment to catch his breath. There wasn't much in his apartment, so he didn't have much to take. He grabbed miscellaneous clothes out of the closet and shoved them into a suitcase. He had to slow down. It wasn't a smart idea to make decisions when you were panicked, especially if you weren't being chased at the moment. He thoughtfully took a moment to pause, as if to force himself to be calm. He was fully rested now, and his breathing returned to normal. "What the fuck just happened?" he said to himself, as if there was a second version of himself in the room that could reply. He put one hand on his waist and the other on his forehead. Could he possibly bring the cops in on this? He thought to himself. No, that was impossible. After the invasion, there had been a lot of weird shit that happened. Things people saw, rumors. So there was a chance that if he did relay this kooky story, that they may believe him. But on the other hand, he was robbing the place, so he couldn't dress that up to look altruistic. What was the creature's motivation? Was it after him now? Did he have to watch himself now? He dismissed that. Even if it was after him, he didn't tend to stay put enough for anything to reliably know where he was. So even if he was being stalked, the way he lived counteracted trackers. Lastly, he thought, "What now?" He mumbled to himself. Was he going to just consider this all as a weird one-time incident and write it off? Or was he going to figure out what the fuck had happened? Walter stopped. He thought longer on this question than he did on the others. On the one hand, he had lived as long as he had by being careful and not tempting fate by indulging idle curiosities. But on the other hand, was this thing going to kill again? Was it over? Walter had an awful thought that struck him all of a sudden. He left the girl. Danielle. Was she dead? Did she make it? He had been so preoccupied with his immediate survival that he hadn't even considered her. Walter took a deep breath, and then he realized that he was going to have to treat this like any other heist he had ever pulled. He would pack up shop and check the news to see what sort of heat this got, then proceed from there. Walter finished packing his suitcase and went to the window to retrieve his binoculars that were sitting on the floor. He by chance glanced out of the window to see if his animal friend happened to be there. The black cat looked up at him knowingly with his yellow eyes. Walter waved at the cat, not knowing why he felt the need. He turned his back, but got an empty, hopeless feeling inside, like he were losing a friend. He opened the window, and without saying a word, the cat hopped in. Though it had never done that before, it seemed to know to do it then. Walter took his suitcase and binoculars, then cocked his head for the cat to follow. And it did, as if he didn't even have to ask. The next day, there was a small mention of international artist Alejandro Ramirez being brutally murdered in his studio, but not even the slightest mention of Danielle or even an unnamed female, as was protocol when a nobody died in the presence of an actual celebrity. Walter turned off the motel room TV and cracked the door for the cat to leave if it so desired. Walter thought that maybe he should just be done. This was not his problem anymore. It didn't matter what happened to the girl or what the thing was. It didn't concern him. Walter looked down at his shoes, as if ashamed slightly to even think that it didn't matter. What if it kills again? What if this is an ongoing thing or an isolated incident? Walter thought for a moment, and for some reason he felt as if this creature was his responsibility. He had took so much from society that this, for once, was an opportunity to do something. He had to stop by his storage locker and grab a few things. He could at least find out what happened to Danielle before he made another move. Danielle sat in the bathtub of a hotel room in a tepid shower. The water served as her own personal storm cloud. She couldn't go home, and she couldn't get clean. She heard the door of the bathroom creak open. Danielle quickly pushed the shower curtain to see the same well-dressed man from the gallery. "You fucked shit up but good last night. Why this guy?" he said, not bothering to introduce his presence. Danielle spoke up with quiet rage. "How did you find me, you son of a bitch?" she said while turning off the water and grabbing a towel. "If I told you, you may try to cover your tracks better," he said smugly. "What's the point of this? Why do you keep showing up like this? Are you helping me or gloating? Why does he care at all what happens to me? Haven't I been punished enough?" "That's not for me to say. I guess maybe he feels responsible for you," said the mysterious black man, as if he had no hand in following her around, and it was all on account of his boss. "As much as you hurt him, I don't think he wants you to die. Just watch me suffer, right?" "Shit. Maybe. That's part of it. You know him, so you know how complicated he is. I could spend a lifetime attempting to suss out his reasoning." Danielle sat there with a beautiful scowl on her face and arms folded. "You left him there. His head, too," said the man in the suit. "I didn't have time to take care of it. I got distracted," she said to the black man. "It's gonna get a lot worse now." "Yeah, I sorta know that," said Danielle calmly. "What are you going to do?" "Leave, maybe. Do you think maybe you could loan me some money?" she asked in desperation. The man's smug smile dropped. "I'm not allowed to help you." "Then what good are you? The next time you want to spy on me, do it from a distance, because these stupid little rap sessions are just a fucking waste of time," Danielle yelled. The man in the suit scowled hard, but his expression soon dropped, as if he realized something that he had no intention on telling her. "Good luck," was all he said, and he exited the hotel room.